Hi, how you doing, and welcome back to another video on the channel. What we have for you today is our knee-jerk reaction for Game Week 29, the blank Game Week, as well as an early preview of Game Week 30. There is a bit of a gap with the international break, so our thoughts might change by the time we do our next preview video, but just thought it'd be interesting just to discuss, the pluses and minuses of if you used your free hit chip or not for Game Week 29. So let's take a look at the team, and my team. It's not going to take very long to analyse because I only had 6 players playing. As you may know, I didn't use the free hit chip, and even though I had a red arrow of about 8k, I don't actually regret it because going into it we knew that there was quite a small sample size of teams, and the teams that were playing are kind of inconsistent at best at the moment. We did talk about how defensively there probably wasn't going to be many clean sheets, and that proved because, whilst Spurs, we thought there'd be lots of triple attackers and triple midfielders. We did also talk about how Fulham are actually quite good defensively and they're at home as well. So I did captain Ivan Toney because of that. I thought him playing Burnley would have a bit more upside, but he did get a yellow card in the last minute for only 1.2 with the captaincy. So it didn't really make too much of a difference. I think I've seen a lot of people who use the free hit really only get slightly above average scores because there wasn't that many big hitting players. So I'm absolutely fine with the red arrow, and I do think that whilst my game week rank was 5.5 million, there's probably a really small point spread between a lot of the players. Like, I think it was probably the lowest scoring game week in FPL history. If anyone knows that for sure, let us know in the comments. So yeah, I feel good about keeping my free hit chip, even if I use it on the last day of the season where there's really big score lines and there's a lot of rotation in squads. I think that's better than using it for a game week like 29 because of the more upside that you get. But I'm definitely going to be using it in one of the double game weeks, and I'm glad for that flexibility. So let's take a look at the fixtures for game week 30, and they're looking a lot more because there's all the teams are playing. So we've got a few good options for captaincy here because Man City versus Arsenal, you might be thinking that we're going to move away from Haaland. And I wouldn't blame you really. Like, looking at the rest of the options, I do think maybe now is the good time to captain someone like Son with Spurs at home to Luton. Luton, we know, are a bit shaky defensively. I could also see you captaining someone like Palmer if you really wanted to go for a differential captain, because Burnley at home for Chelsea is a really good fixture. Like, Chelsea tend to score a lot of goals, especially at home. Burnley tend to concede a lot of goals. They're the second most conceded in the whole league. I think if you did fancy someone like Salah with Liverpool at home to Brighton, I think you could go for that, but I'm not too sure about his sort of play time. And, there's a lot of time between now and when we come back from the international break. So there's loads of time to sort of assess this and have a look forward. But they're my initial thoughts for captaincy. Let's take a look at my team. And, I'm looking forward to this next game week. I think my team looks pretty good. I've got a lot of big hitters that I do want. I do have no money in the bank and one free transfer to use. I think ultimately I do want Salah back in, and I probably will sell Toney as a result. So that'll free up, about 3.5 million, I think, for my budget. So I could move from Son to Salah. That might be the obvious play, but I guess we'll just have to see how Spurs react to this latest defeat. So let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you did free hit and, whether you benefited from it or whether you, wish you had saved it. Or if you didn't free hit, and you must be feeling pretty good about yourself right about now because you've got that in the bank, and the spread of points was so small. Even if you've had a red arrow like me, it's actually not that many points to catch up with, and you might be feeling that you could make up more than those points in the double game weeks still to come. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, if it helps you out, and let us know in the comments all of those things we talked about. It's always good to hear from you, and I will see you in the next one.